What if a ship vanished for nearly 3 centuries, only to return as if nothing had changed? No distress calls, no signs of decay, and most unsettling of all, the crew still on board. Today we dive into a mystery that defies logic and time itself. Where did it go? Why did it come back? And what happened during those lost 277 years? Let's start. But before we reveal the ship that returned after 277 years, we need to look at other ocean mysteries that might hold a clue. The Bermuda Triangle has long captured the imagination of many, often associated with unexplained phenomena and theories of the paranormal, even extraterrestrial speculation. Some sailors reported unusual experiences a few years ago, suggesting strange gravitational effects while traveling through the area. In some cases, ships were said to behave unpredictably, almost as if swayed by forces beyond control. There are various theories about what might be happening in the Bermuda Triangle. Some believe this region could involve unknown natural phenomena like rogue waves, hot vortices, or whirlpools. Others speculate more creatively, imagining possible alien involvement or hidden forces at work beneath the surface. While none of these ideas have been scientifically proven, the Bermuda Triangle remains one of the ocean's most talked about mysteries. Have you ever heard a sea legend passed down in your family? Share your strangest maritime story. We might feature it in our next episode. And just when you think it couldn't get any more puzzling, here comes a real-life ghost ship that adds another layer to maritime mysteries. The ghost ship Joyita was built in the 1930s for fishing and cargo transport. With its powerful engine, it could easily cover long distances. On October 25, 1955, it set sail from Apia, the capital of the autonomous state of Samoa, carrying 25 people, including 15 crew members and 9 passengers. These islands are located in the South Pacific, beyond New Zealand, remote and barely noticeable on a map. The journey was expected to last 48 hours, and the captain anticipated a smooth voyage. However, the ship never reached its destination. On the 3rd day, a search operation was launched. It wasn't until November 10th that the vessel was discovered drifting roughly 700 miles off course by the merchant ship Dalalu, near Fiji. The ship was found in poor condition, listing to one side and partially flooded, but strangely empty. All 25 people on board were missing. Several lifeboats and the radio transmitter were gone, although the main radio was still tuned to the international distress frequency, 2182 kHz, with its toggle switch on. The signal clock had stopped at 10:25, and a first aid kit with used bandages lay nearby. Some cargo and documents were missing as well. While there was no sign of a storm or mechanical failure, the disappearance remains unexplained. Theories range from navigational errors and piracy to possible onboard conflict. Some even speculate external interference, although no conclusive evidence supports any single theory. To this day, the mystery of the Joyita remains one of the most enduring maritime enigmas. But what if the sea doesn't just claim ships, it brings them back? Not once, but again and again on the same date every 50 years. The 3-masted schooner Lady Lavenant set sail from port on February 13, 1748, headed from England to Portugal. Captain Simon Reeve brought his young wife Annette along for their honeymoon, though, sadly, the voyage took a dark turn. 2 superstitions surrounded this ill-fated journey. First, February 13th that year fell on a Friday, which was already considered unlucky at the time. Second, maritime folklore once claimed that having a woman on board could bring misfortune. While those views are long outdated and disproven today, such beliefs were taken seriously during the Age of Sail. According to legend, the ship's first mate, John Rivers, harbored a secret love for Annette. One night he overpowered the crew and took control of the vessel. As they approached the dangerous waters of the Goodwin Sands, he steered the ship straight into the rocks. The Lady Lavenant was lost, along with all souls aboard. Years later, whispers of something strange began to surface. On February 13, 1798, exactly 50 years later, the trading ship Eldridge reported seeing a ghostly schooner racing across the water near the Goodwin Sands. The captain claimed he heard faint music and laughter coming from the deck. It was identified as the Lady Lavenant. Similar sightings reportedly occurred every 50 years, 1848, 1898, and 1948. One account even described the ship glowing with a green mist. In 1998, a crowd gathered near the Goodwin Sands in anticipation of the ship's return, but nothing appeared. From vanishing vessels to floating gardens, the ocean seems to have a mind of its own. And sometimes it creates things no one can explain. Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Fishermen went out to sea off the coast of Sumatra, and in open waters they came across a large patch of floating greenery, like a miniature oasis in the middle of the ocean. At first they assumed it was just a pile of debris, but it turned out to be a unique mix of plants, palms, vines, and tropical thickets forming a tiny island measuring about 43 square feet. It drifted alone, resembling a floating garden. Although too small for anyone to stand on, locals affectionately referred to it as a tiny island. Its origin remains a mystery, but it certainly looks charming and unusual. And it's not just humans who find themselves lost at sea. Sometimes the survivors are even more surprising. In 2021, during a peaceful boat ride, people discovered a dog swimming alone, far from the coast of Florida. The boat owner and his guests spotted a white dog desperately paddling through the waves. At first, they couldn't believe their eyes, a lone Jack Russell Terrier battling the vast ocean. It appeared the poor animal had come a long way. Without hesitation, one man jumped in to rescue it. When the trembling pup was brought aboard, they saw tags on its collar. The dog's name was Zuko. I can only imagine the incredible relief Zuko felt, finally safe in caring hands. Fortunately, the tag helped them track down his owner. It turned out Zuko had fallen off a boat and had been struggling to stay afloat. The family was overjoyed and grateful when they were reunited with their beloved pet. But what if I told you a dog was found over 100 miles from land, alone, in the middle of the ocean? This incident happened on April 9, 2009, off the coast of Thailand. A brown dog was found on an oil rig about 135 miles from shore. It's unknown how she got there. Perhaps she swam an incredible distance, as she was seen partially submerged in water. The workers quickly lowered a rope and gently pulled her to safety. They later named her Bunod, meaning survivor. The crew gave her water and food, and later transferred her to an oil ship that brought her to shore, where a veterinarian examined her. Since then, she's never had to swim alone again. The ocean can be a harsh and unforgiving place, and for those without proper safety equipment, it can quickly become dangerous. Survival in the open ocean is nearly impossible without help. But sometimes all it takes is a bit of sunlight and a watch. Well, Fransen went fishing alone off the coast of New Zealand when he caught a large fish, but during the struggle, he fell overboard. To clarify, this wasn't a rowboat but a motorboat, which unfortunately kept moving without him. The situation quickly turned serious. He found himself swimming in the waves 34 miles from shore, unable to reach his boat. As night approached, Fransen was left at the mercy of the ocean currents for nearly 24 hours, attempting to swim toward distant islands, only to be pulled away each time. Even 2 hours in the ocean would exhaust anyone, let alone nearly a full day. Just when hope was fading, he spotted a fisherman in the distance. He was too tired to call out, he couldn't make a sound, and the boat drifted further away with every second. Amazingly, Fransen used his wristwatch to reflect sunlight, a clever signal that caught the eye of someone on the boat through binoculars. They saw the flashing light and realized someone needed help. He was quickly rescued and given fresh water. This story of open ocean survival has been called nothing short of miraculous. Who knows what might have happened if he hadn't had that watch? Of course, mysteries don't just float on the surface. Some of the most bizarre discoveries lie in the depths. Sunken ships aren't the only mysterious things underwater. Some deep-sea creatures are just as fascinating. Researchers recently found the deepest living fish in the Mariana Trench, over 26,000 feet below the surface. Located in the Philippine Sea, southeast of Guam, the trench revealed a pale, semi-transparent fish nicknamed the ghostfish. It survives under extreme pressure thanks to its delicate yet highly adapted body. Another deep-sea creature, the football fish, was recently found washed up on the Oregon coast near Cannon Beach. This rare species lives around 2,300 to 3,000 feet deep. With glowing lures, sharp teeth, and dark, fossil-like skin, it has an unusual, otherworldly appearance. Only the females grow large and hunt, while the much smaller males attach to them and share nutrients through a symbiotic relationship. These discoveries raise exciting questions about what else might be hiding in the deep. As technology improves, we may uncover even more remarkable life forms in the ocean's darkest depths. And the deeper we go, the stranger it gets. What if sea creatures didn't just hide in darkness, but evolved in ways we've never seen before? Imagine how strange it must be to live in the deepest parts of the ocean. Some creatures are so unusual, they almost seem unreal. Off the west coast of Australia, fishermen captured footage of an extraordinary yellowfin tuna with a horn-like growth on its head. Normally, these sleek and powerful fish are prized for their speed, reaching up to 50 miles per hour, and are common both in sport and commercial fishing. But this particular tuna stood out. Its unusual protrusion resembled a small narwhal's tusk. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a benign growth, likely caused by an old injury. While rare, such mutations can occur in fish populations, even in this region. In another case, an Indonesian fisherman discovered something equally unique. After catching a shark, he found 3 pups inside. 2 looked normal, but one had a rare facial mutation. Its eyes were unusually close together, which scientists later explained as a developmental condition called cyclopia. This happens when the eye orbits don't fully separate during early growth. Despite its strange appearance, the fisherman saw the discovery as a symbol of good luck. And just when scientists thought they knew where certain creatures live, one of the oldest animals on Earth shows up somewhere totally unexpected. In 2023, an international team of scientists made an unexpected discovery in the Caribbean Sea. While tracking tiger sharks to study their population and migration patterns, an assistant from Florida spotted something unusual in a local fisherman's catch. It turned out to be an incredibly rare Greenland shark. This species is known for its exceptional lifespan, living up to 500 years, making it the longest living vertebrate fish. Surprisingly, it wasn't found near the cold waters of Greenland, but in the warm Caribbean. A rare and remarkable encounter in an unexpected place. If this episode sent a chill down your spine or made you question reality, give it a like. It helps us chart the course for more stories like this. Speaking of ancient creatures, some haven't changed for hundreds of millions of years. What secrets are these living fossils still hiding? Another long-lived species, the Atlantic horseshoe crab, has a tough armor-like shell that gives it a tank-like appearance. They can be found in the Gulf of Mexico and along the eastern coast of North America. These creatures belong to the horseshoe crab family and are among the oldest living species on Earth. According to scientists, their ancestors have existed for nearly 450 million years, long before the age of dinosaurs. Today they are often referred to as living fossils. Despite their name, horseshoe crabs are not true crabs. They are more closely related to spiders and scorpions and share evolutionary traits with arachnids. Some people even say they resemble giant scarabs. What do you think? But not all mysteries are what they seem. Some are centuries-old tricks that fooled even the wisest minds of their time. In 2022, researchers examined a mysterious object that had long been kept in a local temple. It resembled a small mermaid about 12 inches long with features that looked like a blend of different animals. This object was thought to be a ningyo, a mythical creature from Japanese folklore that translates to human fish. In legends, ningyo were believed to bring longevity, healing, and good fortune. It's no surprise such an artifact was carefully preserved. However, modern scientific analysis revealed it was a cleverly crafted hoax. The so-called mermaid was created during Japan's Edo period, between 1603 and 1868, using various materials to resemble a mythical being. It was likely made as a souvenir for wealthy individuals who were fascinated by folklore and believed in the mystical traits of the ningyo. This shows how powerful storytelling can be. What was once considered a sacred relic turned out to be a creative product of its time. Of course, now and then the sea throws something on the shore that defies all explanation. In a small coastal town in Mexico, fishermen discovered the body of an unusual sea creature washed ashore. Though already lifeless, its strange and heavily decayed appearance sparked curiosity. With large fangs and a body that appeared to have fur-like textures, it didn't resemble any common marine animal. Some locals speculated it might have been a decayed seal, though its features made identification difficult. Scientists have not confirmed its exact species, but it's likely a known animal affected by decomposition over time, which can alter appearance in surprising ways. But what if a modern crew found a sea monster, huge, heavy, and straight out of prehistory? In April 1977, the Japanese fishing trawler Zuiyo was operating in the ocean east of Christchurch. During the trip, the crew discovered something unusual in the water, a 10-meter-long carcass weighing around 4,000 pounds. The find was so intriguing that it was nicknamed Nessie by some. The crew had pulled up the partially decomposed body of what appeared to be a large, unidentified marine creature. It had a long neck, 4 flipper-like limbs, and a long tail, which reminded some of prehistoric animals. Despite their efforts to haul it on board, it proved difficult, not only due to its size but also because of a strong odor. Eventually, the captain made the difficult decision to return it to the ocean. Although it was a tough call, the crew couldn't keep it on board. To this day, the discovery remains a curious topic, raising questions among marine biologists and cryptozoology enthusiasts alike. And finally, from ancient beasts to modern tech, sometimes the ocean returns something you'd never expect to find floating in the waves. In 2023, off the coast of France, sailors came across a floating container in the middle of the ocean. It was likely lost from a cargo ship and had been drifting for an unknown amount of time. Faced with curiosity and caution, the crew considered a few possibilities. It could contain something valuable, something unusable, or simply be trash. With that in mind, and following maritime safety protocols, they decided to haul it on board. Using ropes and a coordinated effort, they managed to secure the container. So what was inside? Surprisingly, the container held boxes of what appeared to be brand new electronic devices, shiny, high-tech items packed in neat rows. According to maritime reports, thousands of shipping containers are lost each year due to rough seas and accidents. A container like this staying afloat is rare, perhaps thanks to protective packaging inside. However, it's important to note that lost cargo is documented, and rightful ownership remains with the original owners. So if someone finds something like this at sea, it must be reported. It doesn't automatically belong to the finder. So, could the ship that returned after 277 years be connected to any of these stories? Or is it something completely different, something we still can't explain? If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.